in the flexible consumption models that they want to buy. And in the heart of that center is, who are we delivering outcomes to? You know, you hear all the statistics about it's 80% of the IT decisions are going to go to the line of business managers. And, you know, I think they're going to be part of it for sure. But don't you agree with me that the reality is that together we need to deliver technology outcomes to the IT decision makers. We need to deliver business outcomes to the line of business managers, and we need to deliver transformational outcomes to CXOs. And we need to build this ecosystem and connect the ecosystem so that together we can deliver for our partners. And if we do, what are the benefits? Big benefits for all of us. You're going to be able to build out new solutions, differentiate your offers, drive higher margins, and win more business. So when we look at the outside of that ring is all the capabilities that customers are asking us that we have to have in our toolkit. And what's popping up here are the gaps that we see in our infrastructure. Software, ISVs, developers, consultants, not just the big consultants, but there's so many consultants, small companies that are really focused on expertise in different vertical markets, whether it's healthcare, or manufacturing, or financial services. New cloud partners, vertical experts. And as we've been going and talking to people about this and recruiting, because last year, 9 months, I introduced this ecosystem that we were looking to build and bringing in these new partner types. The conversations that we're having with these new partners is they want in. And why do they want in? They want in because of you. They want access to you, our channel partners. 67,000 partners, 280,000 people in our ecosystem today that represent Cisco in the market. They want access to your salespeople. They want access to our salespeople. So we are on a recruiting bench to really build out the partner ecosystem. Last year, and in fact, leading up to last year, I would go around talking to all of you about, well, we're going to build out the ecosystem, we're going after ISVs, and we're going after these new partner types, and the reaction was, well, still not seeing the value. This year when I toured the world, starting in August, all of you gave me the feedback that, yes, I need you to build out that ecosystem, I see the value. And we all need this to deliver what we need to deliver to our customers and what they're asking. That shows that pace of change, and that we were on to something. And I really feel we're doing what we need to do to build this capabilities together. And when I talk about ISVs, you can say, well, boy, your competitors have been doing ISVs for 20 years. You're coming late to the game. The way we're approaching it is completely different. So yes, we're working with big ISVs, vertical software companies, and the big software companies, and making sure they're optimized for our platform. That's what everybody does. But what we're doing is taking the next step further. What we're doing is getting and opening up the APIs and SDKs of our collaboration technology, our security technology, and getting the ISVs to integrate that technology into the application. That's stickiness, that's differentiation when we go to market together. And then the third piece that we're doing, and I'll talk about the developer community that we're creating, is giving them access to the network APIs as we're opening up the network APIs. So developers and those ISVs can develop into the network and pull out quality of service and other pieces of network services that they want to integrate into their applications. And I will tell you, can anybody else do that? That's game over for us. That's differentiation that all of us can take to our customers and win more business at higher margins and have different conversations with our customers. So we've been building out what we're calling the Cisco partner ecosystem with all these new partner types. And we've been on this recruiting binge. It's working really well. And I will say, what what we're seeing is, last year when I introduced this, I called it the ecosystem effect. Let's create this ecosystem effect. Now I think a year later, when we're really seeing the benefits of this and we're seeing partners, you take advantage of pulling these pieces together and changing conversations and winning deals and business cases that I'm reading each and every day of new opportunities that you're winning. We're really turning that ecosystem effect into the ecosystem advantage. That's what we're delivering, the ecosystem advantage. So when we're going out recruiting these new partner types, the one thing is partners go, wow, you have a great program, really well known in the industry, obviously the model, but my business model doesn't fit. I need something different. I'm a different type of partner. And that's what we've been creating. For these different partner types, we have different programs that incent these different partner types to join the ecosystem. You can see these various programs. We've got obviously the Channel Partner Program, and Edison's going to come and talk about the evolution of the Channel Partner Program, some significant changes, great changes that we're making this year. We have programs for distributors, we have programs for learning partners, for government system integrators, system technology integrators. But all the solution partners that I've been talking about, the consultants and so on, those that don't traditionally resell, we are introducing today a solution partner program. And the solution partner program has 3 levels. As we recruit these new solution partners, they come in at the solution partner level. As they qualify and move up, they move up to the preferred solution partner. And then our top level is the strategic solution partners. And each one has qualifications, how do you get in, and each one has different type of offers that we provide to those partners. And many of you in the room will look at that and say, I want to be part of that program as well, the solution partner program. And at all these solution partners, we'll be taking the specific solutions that are developed. So the program is about the relationship that we have with the companies. And as they develop solutions, we're putting them and categorizing them into 3 different levels as well. There's the platform ready level, the lower level, then the compatible level, which is you have Cisco validated designs, you've done interoperability testing, you'll have solutions in that branded as compatible, and then we'll have a top level for featured solutions. So you're probably saying, okay, well, how do I get access to that? We're connecting the ecosystem through our marketplace. And this is a new and improved marketplace that really drives the connection, the partner-to-partner connections. And think of it as Match.com, bringing you together. You can see what solutions are out there, figure out what fits into your portfolio, make those connections and relationships with those partners. And then what we're doing, we're continuing to invest. You'll see more capability. Because when you go into the marketplace, you'll be able to have that social capability where you'll be able to rate, you'll see how other people are rating the solutions, you'll see an install base, new business. And eventually, again, as we continue to invest in the marketplace, you'll see more commerce capabilities going in there as well. Last year I talked about you also have to have a robust, world-class developer community. Because you've got to go after the developers. The developers are everywhere. Developers are in your companies. These are the individuals that develop. They're in our ISVs. They're in your customers. And we are creating a world-class developer environment. And we relaunched this environment called DevNet in December of this year. And it includes a portal, a DevNet portal, where your developers can come in and get access to thought leadership on what we're doing around the APIs that we're opening up, and the SDKs, and all the tools and resources that a developer would need to create applications or integrate applications. Then we're created a DevNet community. Because you know developers like to talk to each other, they like to share, they like to go back and forth, they like to hack each other. You know, the hackathons that go on. And we've connected through this community, not only developers, but we also connected into Cisco's communities. So the developers have access to all of our really smart people who are doing development. And the third thing is, I said, well, boy, those developers are going to want to start integrating, like I said before, integrating Jabber and collaboration technology into their application or using some network services. Using the D cloud, the remote cloud that we talked about last year, there's a DevNet sandbox. So they can connect into the sandbox, have access to these open SDKs and APIs, and start connecting our solutions to their applications, or developing brand new solutions. So the idea is, and in fact, let me give a fact here, because we relaunched this in December. From December to now, we've doubled the number of developers that are in the developer community. Doubled. This has taken off. This will be a platform. And what my goal is that we'll have thousands of applications in that marketplace that you can go and take advantage of to figure out what fits in your portfolio. Let me give you an example of one that some of you know this, because I know I talked to a couple of you that actually used this to win some deals. A company called ESNA developed an application in our DevNet community called Klein. And some of you might have customers that have in their infrastructure, they have Cisco collaboration and unified communication, WebEx, they got video. They also have Google Apps or Jive, or they have Salesforce.com, and they want to have seamless integration. So what ESNA did is use those open SDKs to create that integration capability. So if you're in Google Apps and you want to launch a WebEx, push a button, launch a WebEx, seamless integration. This solution is in the marketplace. If you're thinking, oh, I got a customer that could use that, you could go into that marketplace and create a relationship with ESNA and put this into your portfolio. Again, well, our goal is to have thousands of these applications that you can look for and look at. So what does success look like? You know, when I was looking at this and talking about the ecosystem, and I saw that IDC did a report for SAP and for Microsoft. And they created a report that showed what success looks like. What is the ecosystem bringing from a value perspective to their partners? And I said, wow, I want that. So we went out and hired IDC, and we also at the time were working with Bain and getting some info from Bain. And this is what they came up with. What does success look like if we build this ecosystem together and really start turning this into the ecosystem advantage? And what they said is for every dollar of value of Cisco to your business, you should be seeing 3 to 5x business value through the use and connection with our ecosystem. And then based on the innovation that you're hearing, and Bain is heavily involved with us and looking at some of the things that we're doing, they're saying as we grow together and continue to innovate together, the business value can go up 5 to 9x. And also, think about where that's coming from. Hardware is going to continue to grow, but 90% of that ecosystem value is going to come from software and new professional services that we need to deliver together. And we're on the road for this. This is my goal. This is how I'm holding myself accountable for our partner strategy and our growth together, to provide this value back to you so that we are truly driving profitable growth for you in this market. When I'm traveling around, what most people ask me about is opportunities. All right, Bruce, what new opportunities should we be looking at? And I wanted to kind of talk about a couple of the opportunities. And first, I was looking at a Gartner user survey. And they did a survey on how will customers make decisions to purchase over the next 2 years. And there was about 8 different, there was a bar chart that had 8 different elements in it. The top 4 elements, look at these top 4 elements. Integrated solutions, technology innovation, from a trusted brand, and business understanding. They understand my business, they're driving business outcomes. Isn't this what we're talking about? Doesn't this put all of us in the driver's seat of how customers are going to spend their money and what we as a community can deliver to our customers? I am just really excited about this. I think the opportunity for us is tremendous. It's huge. Let me talk about opportunities in 4 areas. John covered the Internet of Everything from a large perspective: Barcelona, Israel, trash can example. Love that one. I want to kind of break it down to what I think are a couple opportunities for us when we walk out the door. So now's the time to get out your pad. Now's the time to take the notes. Okay, this is what, because you got to think about maybe all of these opportunities don't fit into your portfolio, but there will be some that you should walk away here and say, I need to make a bet on this. This is an opportunity that could drive increased value for my customers that I'm calling on, and drive increased profitable growth. I'm going to talk about verticals, the mid-market, and a little bit about hybrid IT. Last year we talked about hybrid IT and said it's got to be part of your portfolio. And I think you're hearing John talk about the intercloud, and I'm going to talk about how that makes hybrid IT a reality for our customers and for you. So let's first talk about the Internet of Everything. Let me break it down just to a couple of opportunities, low-hanging fruit, right now. You know, we have a business unit now, run by Guido Giret, creating, they have over 700 products in the Internet of Everything business unit. Wireless, ruggedized switching, ruggedized routing, ruggedized outdoor wireless. This is where everybody in this room has tremendous expertise. Opportunity here. This is on the OT side, operational technology side, in the plants, in the field. It's $1 billion opportunity. Today, it's all these small companies that have that market, because they're the ones that have these industrial switches and industrial routers. Now, we together have that capability to go in. Today, on this $1 billion market, we have less than 10% share. This is a huge opportunity. It's growing at 10 to 15% a year. And right now, when I was talking to Guido, because he said, this is our tradition, our partners in the room, they can go in, this is low-hanging fruit. This is, in Internet of Everything, it's an opportunity for everybody to participate. But in this case right now, 6 partners, I want to say that again, 6 partners are doing over 50% of the business that we're doing in industrial switching and routing and wireless today. So is that not an opportunity for all of us? Think about that. The second thing is, when we think about IT and OT, right? OT, on the operational technology side, those are the guys that's a line of business that worry about the plant, that worry about the field. They're thinking about integrating sensors and motors. They're more about automation and control versus what IT is about, data, voice, and video. But what we're seeing is that these two are coming together. And haven't we seen that before, where these things come together? OT and IT need to come together to create architectures to deliver on the promise of the Internet of Everything. And I think there's a tremendous opportunity as we keep recruiting new OT players, Internet of Things players. John mentioned the Rockwells, the Honeywells, the ABBs, that they don't have some of the capability that you have in the room. The network architecture capability, the specializations that you have in wireless, in data center, in our networking. They really need help. And this is a great opportunity to connect with those partners, to go after new opportunities that we're not going after, or you may not be going after today. And what we hear too is that for every dollar that we sell in OIT, it pulls through another $2 to $5 of additional Cisco products. Because it is a land and expand game. You get in and all of a sudden you got new opportunities in wireless and in data center and in collaboration that you don't see before in these companies. And I want to kind of show you, this is an example of where OT and IT did not come together in the beginning. So on the OT side, the operation guys were designing a network for their plant. And they didn't have the skills to understand the network bandwidth, the QoS that they needed to put into the network to make sure that they could have the bandwidth they need for the specific applications. And what they found was after they delivered the network, that they were seeing downtime that was just not acceptable. And they were losing $1 million a week in downtime. And they realized we've got to bring our IT group together with our OT to design a reference architecture for where we're going. I hope like me, you're saying, wow, Bells, this is new opportunities that we can go after together. This is happening today. And now that they've brought this together, at first it was a million or so deal. Now that deal is about $3 to $4 million, because now they get in and land and expand. They start looking at new opportunities in the data center. They're creating new relationships with line of business leaders that they didn't have before. Great opportunity in IoE. Let me talk about verticals. Give you a quick story. Epic. Some of you might know Epic, a large healthcare application provider. McKesson, Epic. So Epic had a business problem that they wanted to solve. And it was an offering that they had to their extended care facilities. The issue at these extended care facilities is they have many rooms, many beds, mostly elderly people. And what they were finding is that if the elderly folks were getting out of bed and falling down, insurance wasn't covering it. So what they had to do, these extended care facilities, they had to hire what they call patient sitters. They had to have people sitting in each room, making sure that if someone got out of bed, they were there to help them get out of bed. Now, Epic was selling patient monitoring systems to the extended care facilities. And what they did is said, what if I integrate Cisco's physical security solution into my patient monitoring solution? So I can go into these extended care facilities and I can have video in each of the rooms. I can manage that video. And then I can go to those facilities and say, hey, listen, what we can do is 1 or 2 people now, instead of all these people sitting in these patient rooms, can sit back and they can monitor the video. And if someone looks like they're about to get out of bed, and you know sometimes it might take a little while to get out of bed, that they're able to push a button and have an orderly in that room to help that person out of bed. So they went from having to hire many people to having to hire 1 or 2, completely change the conversation with extended care facilities and open up new opportunities for them. This, again, the value of the ecosystem. I also want to highlight 2 other opportunities I think we can all look at. Last year we talked about SAP, that we were doubling down with SAP, and we have. Rob's been very engaged with SAP. Chris has been very engaged with SAP. Building competency centers in Germany. We're their standard platform for SAP HANA Cloud. We've got multiple initiatives going on. There's many partners are taking advantage of this today. SAP drives $5 billion of infrastructure. That's opportunity that we can go after together. And in fact, they are SAP is in 80% of Cisco's installed base today. So those partners who are making the connection with the SAP teams are opening up new opportunities. But there's so much more opportunity. We're not all doing that. Think about how that might fit into your portfolio. The other area is in converged and integrated infrastructures. The tremendous relationship we have with BCE and E-Block and NetApp and FlexPod. That business is on fire. We're growing that business. You're growing that business with us. It's completely differentiating the conversation versus selling a standalone UCS. We talked about last year when you sell that converged integrated infrastructure, your deal size goes up 2.5%, 3%. You put SAP on top of that, now the deal size is 7x. Great opportunity. And also what we're seeing is as we're growing that business together, that our field is getting 50 to 70% repeat business when they put one of these converged or integrated infrastructures into our customers. So let's take advantage of that as well. Let me shift to a new solution coming out of Cisco. Some of you may have heard about Cisco's Connected Mobility Experience. How many people have heard of that? Show of hands. Okay, there's a number of people who have heard of it. Well, we're introducing a couple of new components this week, actually. Chuck's going to introduce a component later on this week. But this can completely change your conversation around wireless and up-level that conversation to a line of business on how mobility and location-based services can change a whole business process for your customer. And what we're introducing is the next generation Wi-Fi solution in a platform. You're going to hear about the 2700 access point. Chuck's going to talk about that. It's going to have all the latest and greatest wireless technology, as well as coming in at a very aggressive price. Couple on that, the mobility service engine, for you to take network analytics and turn that into a personal user experience for your customers. And then put on top of that, the mobility service platform, where you can now develop new mobility, custom mobility applications for your customers. Give me an example. Copenhagen Airport. Great airport. Everybody flying to Copenhagen Airport? Great airport. John does. John flies it. They have about 20 million passengers that go through. And they were looking at their international terminal and saying, boy, we want to increase this to, we want 30 million passengers to come through this, and we need to be more efficient. So a partner kind of took this connected mobility solution, went into the line of business managers and started talking about, hey, what if we could put a solution in there that kind of shows you the traffic flow through your international terminals? You can see where people congregate. You can see what time people kind of flow through. And they're like, yes, that's what I want to do, because I want to understand, where do I put my security personnel? How long are my customers waiting in lines? And how can I change that and analyze that? For retail outlets, how can I kind of go into these retail outlets and say, boy, look at where our people are congregating, and be able to sell different type of retail outlets, different approaches based on where people are going to be. And that's exactly what this partner did. Completely changed the conversation and provided a business outcome for Copenhagen Airport. Now, I want to stop for a minute, because I know Thomas goes through Dulles Airport. I go in and out of Dulles Airport in Washington. I don't know if you do, but I will pay you if you take the solution to Dulles Airport. I think we all have these experiences in airports, and it's not only airports, but if you really broaden the thinking of this solution, you can take this to healthcare. You can take this to multiple industries. Something to think about, should this be in your toolkit? Can you have a practice around this? Great opportunity for us. In the mid-market, last year we talked about the mid-market, and we talked about we have low share. In most of our segments, we're up in the high 30s, 40% share. In the mid-market, we're still in the 20s. Still tremendous opportunity, and the growth in the mid-market and commercial sector has been fantastic across the board. And we look at where we're really driving growth. Collaboration in this space. When we talked about last year, a couple things we were going to do for you. A made-for-mid-market portfolio that we were going to deliver $1 billion of sales-qualified leads to our partners. And by the way, here we are in March. We said it in the year. This is 9 months later. We delivered, Karen and Sherry in marketing, look at the stats. We delivered $1 billion of sales-qualified leads to our partners by February. In 8 months, we're continuing to do that and refining it. We're seeing what's working, what's not. Are you closing? Are they good leads? You're going to see better and better leads coming to you. We're making great improvements there. Also, be able to track whether those leads really close in your system. That's so important. But the B6K is on fire. Look at this growth. 150% growth year over year for the last 10 quarters. Why? Because it is a beautiful bundled solution. Very easy to configure for you. Very easy to order. Priced perfect for this mid-market commercial space. And you're killing it. Also, when you're selling B6K, there's 400% pull-through of other products and technologies that you are selling when you're selling B6K. We're going to introduce the B7K. So the 6K is perfect for 250 to 750 employees. BE7K is going to be from 750 to 1,000 employees. The same style. Easy to order, easy to configure, priced perfect, great experience, great user experience. Think about, is that part of your portfolio? If not, you've got to get on the bandwagon there. Unbelievable growth. John talked about Meraki and all the new customers. When Meraki came into the fold, they're saying they're just driving the business through our channel partners. 100% growth year over year. There's 5,000 new partners. In fact, they're in the top 20 partners. Their top 10 or let me get this right, it was 10 out of their top 20, it might not be their top 10, but 10 out of their top 20 are new partners that they never had before, until they joined Cisco. And I know some of you are saying, God, I'm in a country we're not there yet. I want Meraki here. We're working on that. We're working on that for you. We're working on making sure this is getting out globally, because this is a fantastic opportunity for all of us to grow the business in the commercial mid-market space. And then the last section, the last one at Hybrid IT. And John talked a lot about Hybrid IT in our announcement on Monday. But the intercloud. Last year we said Hybrid IT has to be in your portfolio. And I had a lot of great meetings yesterday where all of you kind of said to me, you know, it is around Hybrid IT. The conversation I have with customers is, you've got to go in and have a conversation where you can say, let's think about what's right for your business. Where do you want your workloads? Do you want it based on how integrated it is into your business? That it has to be on site, it has to be in a private cloud area, but there may be opportunities where it should be in a public cloud. And you can now, with the intercloud fabric that we're introducing, it's making Hybrid IT a reality. Where you can have those conversations with your customers. The intercloud fabric is software architecture that gives you the ability to go in and have this discussion and analyze. Say, let's look at the utilization of your workloads. If you have low utilization of your workloads, maybe the right thing to do is put it in a public cloud. But for those applications and workloads that you have a high utilization, you would want that on site. You'd want that in a private cloud. And you have the ability to have those conversations and give the customer the flexibility that they're looking for with the announcement of the intercloud fabric, which then is a big part of what Rob's going to talk about tomorrow, our whole cloud strategy, and the build out of the world's largest global public intercloud. And some of you might be saying, well, there are others that are doing this. I will tell you this. The differentiation that we're bringing to the market is that this is an open, secure environment. Open, secure. This is what our customers are going to want. This is what other ecosystem partners and software partners are going to want. That you have your network security, your application security, goes with you whether it's in public or private. Great opportunity for us, and we're bringing that to market, and no one else is bringing it in an open and secure way. And what does this mean for our partners, our cloud partners out there? CMSP partners, if you're a provider, this is going to extend your portfolio of Cisco-powered solutions and services that you can deliver. For those builders, you can go back to those customers that you've built clouds, and now bring in the intercloud fabric to help them now have the capability to deliver Hybrid IT. And for resellers, and what we've announced on Monday, and the feedback we're getting from the resellers that want to resell is, Cisco, you're doing the right thing. This is where we want you. This is what we were expecting you to deliver. And this is going to really expand your portfolio of Cisco offers that you can deliver to your customer. And underlying it, for all of our cloud partners, a tremendous amount of professional services. And I'm sure Edzard's going to talk a lot about professional services. So let me take a breath. It's a lot to absorb between what John was saying, what I was saying. And I'm sure you're sitting back going, okay, we talked about the ecosystem, we talked about opportunities, we talked about the partner strategy. I love our innovation strategy because I'm sure you're thinking the same thing. Where do I build this capability into my company? Should I buy? And a lot of you are making acquisitions. And where am I going to partner? And hopefully you see how we're trying to make that easier for you to connect with other partners in the ecosystem that bolster what you're bringing to the market. And we're going to help you along the way in each one of these areas, like we always have. Building, helping you build out practices, your architecture practices. We've helped build out Hybrid IT by creating, last year we introduced the Business Transformation Playbook. We're going to put some new chapters, new sections in that playbook. One section is going to be around professional services. The next generation of professional services. So we've gone out, captured what we're doing, captured what you're doing, all the partners are doing, and have come up with, again, the best practices in growing your professional services business to deliver business outcomes. There'll be a section in a playbook. that we're going to bring out to you. In buying, I said, boy, we do a lot. Cisco does a lot of buying companies. Can't we tap into that expertise? And I talked to Hilton Romansky, who leads our M&A, and he said, I would love to do this for you and for our partners. So he's agreed to work with us, and we're also getting best practices from all of you who are in M&A, who are willing to share, and we're going to have a section on mergers and acquisitions. When do I make a decision whether I build or I buy? Or when I am buying, what are the things I need to consider on buying? And we'll have a section in there with best practices that we're going to share with you. You'll see that too. And then obviously we talked about the partner in the marketplace and what we're doing to continue to advance the marketplace with more capabilities for you to leverage all these solutions we're going to be putting in here. So to close, I hope you see, like I see, there is a tidal wave of opportunities for us to go after. The market is ripe for us. The customers, the way that they're buying that we talked about, that Gartner survey, is what we together deliver to our customers. These integrated solutions from trusted brands. We need to catch this wave together. We need to create the Cisco partner ecosystem advantage so we're driving profitable growth. And that's my commitment to you, to continue to do that and to continue to build that ecosystem out. And like I started with Peter Drucker's quote, because the best way to predict the future is to create the future. And I know we've done it in the past, and we will create the future together. Thank you. We are amazing together. Thank you.